What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And this is the movie that I have heard about for years, known about for years, have always been curious about, but for whatever reason just never got the chance to sit down and watch it until now. I'm talking about Teeth! Teeth is a 2007 horror film that was directed by Mitchell Lichtenstein. And man, this is a movie that I remember being like my senior year of high school, hearing about this movie, how insane it was, how can you believe that this is a movie that has what it has, that is about what it's about. And I would hear this and think, man, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to watch a film quite like that. And then years would go by. Then one time I saw it on Netflix and I said, oh, okay, cool, I'll get to this eventually. And by the time I tried to get to it, it was already off. So now I was able to watch it for the purposes of this 31 days. And yeah, this was a movie. This was made. This happened. The plot, in case you guys haven't seen it and are not aware, Jess Wexler plays Dawn. She's a girl who has been practicing abstinence. She's a part of this promise program to yourself where you're going to save yourself for marriage. You're not going to have sex. You're not going to do any of that stuff. But when she gets presented the opportunity, or should I say, people try to rape her, because man, lots of people try to do that to this poor girl, try to take advantage of her, try to touch her inappropriately. You find out that her vagina has teeth. They have teeth. They almost have a mind of its own, because it bites the penis off of people. It bites the fingers off of people. This vagina has like a vortex, a shield, a bifrost that you just can't get over her, because you'll lose something. You'll lose something very important to you. Now, what I thought of Teeth was, the movie's not horrible or terrible or anything like that, but it's like, is it good? I don't know. This film was listed on the device that I watched it under. It said horror/comedy. How is this a comedy? I mean, in theory, in plot, if you just wrote this down, or when people would describe it to me, yeah, it sounded hilarious. But when you watch it, it's not as over the top as I expected. At least in tone. It's not silly. It's not goofy. It's not insane levels of gore that I was expecting. This comes off more realistic. Just as far as the kills go. Yes, sure. Whatever she has going on down there, that's not realistic at all. But the way how they play it, it's quite frightening. Although you do come to a point where, like, this girl, like I said at the beginning, she's very much not for having sex. And even with this boy that she likes somewhat, and she thinks that maybe, possibly someday, one day, if they get married, she can be with him intimately. But even when that goes sour, if you're a guy who just wants to rape this girl, it's gonna know. It will know that you're up to no good. It will know that whatever you're sticking is not wanted, it's not warranted, it's not needed here, and it will get rid of it. But then there's a moment later on in the movie where she willingly has sex with a guy, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bite the guy off, and she seems into it. And this is where I think I might have a problem with the fact that this movie is directed by a man, because this scene is presented in such a weird way, where she gets desperate, she gets very upset that there's nobody for her to turn to, that people are dying, or that everything is just going wrong in her life. So she turns to this one guy who's kind of sort of a friend, but he establishes that he liked her earlier. And she goes there, and she's confiding in him, and she's emotional and vulnerable, like I said. And he arranges his room with candles and music, and he gives her a pill. Now, he tells her it's to make her feel better, to calm her down. It's something his mom takes. This is what he says. But then, after a while, he says, "Look, now what you took is going to make you a little woozy. So here, come on and sit down in the bed and chill out a little bit." And she wants to go to the cops and confess, but he's pulling her over to the bed, and then she lays there, and then before long, she's just ready, willing, and able to have sex. A girl who didn't want to do that with so many other guys beforehand. She was very much against it. It was a whole big thing, and now she's just going along with it after taking this pill. Now, the movie doesn't say, hey, he just date raped her. They don't openly say that, but it sure seemed like it. And like I said, because she seemed willing to it, maybe it was ecstasy, maybe it was something else of the Cosby persuasion. I don't know, but it because she was okay with it, the teeth didn't do anything. And it wasn't until we found out that the guy, the kid, made a bet on whether or not he could sleep with her. That's when the teeth showed up, presented its sharp fangs, and did its due. So again, very confusing. I'm not entirely sure if the girl was raped or if she did want to. I don't think that was explained or presented well, and I think it was a little problematic in a lot of ways. Or maybe I'm overthinking it. It's a movie about a girl with teeth down there. It's confusing. I watched it thinking, or was expecting to laugh more, was expecting to have this be more silly, have me laughing more all the way through, and I wasn't. I was either disturbed or upset for her with all these people who try to do stuff to her. And yeah, it is a little graphic as far as you see the after effects of these guys' dicks coming off. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for them because they all try to do something to her against her will. So this is a film that I don't really know why it exists. I don't really know what the point of it was, other than to just have that crazy word of mouth talk that went on when it came out. Yeah, you couldn't go anywhere really without hearing about this movie, at least hearing the title, hearing about it. So in that way, it did its job. I do question if it's a good movie, or if it serves any purpose, if it really needed to be made. I don't know. Could it have been made better? Could it have been more fun? Could it have been even more horrifying? Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Teeth? Did you think it was disturbing? Did you see it? Have you stayed away from it because maybe you thought it's too much? I can definitely understand that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Souls taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicking down the door with a Jason mask, with a deck dome machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going? I'm going. You know, I know that the man in the mirror is my next rival. Time goes and I never thought I'd live it so fast. Staring at the world from the end of a glass. Turned into a dark place, sever my brain. I done dropped out of class, but I made you